and I heard from a friend of mine that was at the time signed at DirtyWorkz, also from Norway, but he doesn't release music anymore. Forever Lost. Have you heard about them?
No, not really. Forever Lost.
Yeah, that's the thing. They released music there for a couple of years, but life happens, I guess. It was a duo. But then I asked, how did you get to DirtyWorkz? And he said, I sent my music to Kent from the Tweakers, and he sent it to DirtyWorkz, and they wanted to sign us. And I was like, man, I'm going to do that. So I did. I sent them a pack with 5 tracks. It's my 5 first releases on DirtyWorkz. If you check out my Spotify.
Wow.
And,
so it worked, actually.
Yeah, it worked. But I mean, it worked not because you know the right people. I mean, that's like 50% of the whole thing. You got to know people and you got to introduce yourself. But it also worked because the music I sent wasn't shit. It was melodic hardstyle. And Can you excuse me for 1 second? I just need a glass of water. I'm really
of course.
Yeah, just 1 second. All right, back. It was not water.
Okay. No. It doesn't look like water.
Zero sugar. Keeping it healthy today, brah. But yeah, where I sent my music to DirtyWorkz through the Tweakers, and at the time I lived in northern of Norway with an ex, right? So I lived there for 1 year because I didn't know what to do after school. I was like, fuck, man, what to do next? And then I went there to just work some bullshit job part-time, but to focus on music. And that's where I produced music. And I produced these tracks in a very similar setup as I talked about in the Red Race with just a laptop and
basic
in
stuff.
The living room. Yeah, basic stuff, headphones. And I remember I was at work that day, and then I checked my phone and I got a mail from DirtyWorkz. And I was like, oh shit, what is this? And I was like really hyped. And I saw that they really liked the track and they wanted to have a meeting with me. And I was like, all right, what's next, right? And then
this is happening.
Yeah, and then that happened. And quickly I decided over the winter when I lived up there, I was like, maybe I'm going to move to Oslo and maybe go to a school or something. So I went to music school type of thing for 2 years. But it was not any life-changing experience except the fact that I was in Oslo and it's the capital of Norway. But that was also the first year. It was pretty awesome to go to that school because you were surrounded with other artists in different genres. But I felt really kind of like an outcast because I already had done so much. I had released these tracks and I was signed to DirtyWorkz, and my production level was kind of higher than most of the people there, but I learned other things like management of music and also working together with vocalists and recording stuff and like live things and stuff. But then year 2, once we started year 2, Corona hit. So I did not have access to the school's facilities, and I went having these online classes, and it was a bunch of bullshit, to be honest. But yeah, part of life, I guess. But also at the same time, after like in the middle of Corona, like a bit after, I think, I set the goal for myself. Okay, now I signed to DirtyWorkz, but I signed at DirtyWorkz Update first, right? That's the talent label. Now I guess it's more DirtyWorkz copyright free. They release, they have guest releases for people on DirtyWorkz copyright free, but at the time that didn't exist. So I signed to DirtyWorkz Update, and I set goal, let's sign to the main label. And that's what I did afterwards, because I always need to put new goals. I have to
of course,
make goals to actually get momentum and have a drive, and what's the next thing, because if you get too comfortable, you will just end up doing bullshit like scrolling, and then half a year has passed and you haven't done anything with your musical career or your life in general. You're just stuck in the routine.
Yes.
So yeah.